Hi, I'm Russ Goldman, host of Cottage Talk, which is a podcast all about Fulham Football Club. We're actually now part of the TalkSport fan network. You can find us on Twitter at Cottage Talk, also the YouTube channel for Cottage Talk, and find the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. So that's a little bit about Cottage Talk. So tell you a little bit about Fulham's season so far. I am a little bit surprised where they are based on the history of teams that get promoted. However, I will say this. What has changed my mind that Fulham deserve to be where they are has to be the style of play. Fulham play on the front foot, and it comes from Marco Silva. The players that we brought up from the championship have stepped up. They've improved under Silva, and they've shown that they can play in the Premier League, which is fantastic. We have also added key players, and I'll mention one right now, and that is João Palhinha. João Palhinha, for me, is the focus of Fulham Football Club. What I mean by that is you have Mitro who scores the goals, but João Palhinha controls the play in central midfield. Without him, Fulham are not where they are. They got him actually, I think, for a bargain for £20 million. So for me, he is certainly the key player for Fulham Football Club. On Tottenham are always in and about the top six. I am a little bit surprised. I thought they might be a little bit farther up the table than they are. But there seems to be a little bit of an adjustment when it comes to playing for Conte and some situations with him. I'm not sure how long Conte is going to stay at Tottenham. But you know what? I've liked him as a manager, but there just seems to be maybe not the best fit between Tottenham and Conte. I could be wrong on that. But I think he's a fine manager. I just don't know if this is the right fit for Tottenham Hotspur moving forward. Do I expect him to stay? We shall see. I really don't know. That's not my call. That would have more to do with what you guys are watching with Tottenham Hotspur. But I know he's a fine manager, but I know that things aren't going as smoothly as they probably could be. So, and a player that always concerns me is Harry Kane. And Harry Kane is obviously the player that I'm most worried about when Fulham play Tottenham Hotspur. It begins and ends with him. And I know Son's not having a great season, but I always fear him as well. But Harry Kane is really the main player that I always worry about when it comes to this matchup. And he does like to score goals against Fulham. So we'll see what happens at Craven Cottage. My favorite memory between these two sides would have to be, I think it was about 10 years ago when Fulham beat Tottenham Hotspur at White Hart Lane, and I believe Dimitar Berbatov scored. He didn't really celebrate, but that to me would be my favorite memory. This matchup is usually not great when it comes to Fulham, so Tottenham usually win this one, but for me, that would be the favorite one for me. So a player that, again, I'll go back to that I think would get into Tottenham's starting 11. I just mentioned João Palhinha. I'll also say Mitro as well. I think both of those players would get into the starting 11. The other player that might get in there would be Bernd Leno as your goalkeeper. I mean, he's been fantastic for Fulham. Possibly Pereira. So I think there are more players than you might think that could crack Tottenham's starting 11. Fulham really have improved, and I think that shows why I'm mentioning about 4 players that could potentially be in the Tottenham starting 11. And if I could sign any player, obviously it would be Harry Kane. It begins and ends with him. That would be a player that I would absolutely want to Fulham. That's never going to happen. So, and to end this, I just want to mention, I actually think Spurs will end probably about 5th or 6th. I think they might be out of the top 4, but I think things will get better as the season progresses for Spurs. Fulham, I'd like to say 6th. I don't see that happening. I'm going to say anywhere between 8th and 10th. I think Fulham are going to end up. They're not going to be in a relegation battle, and that is all fine by me. Lastly, to predict a lineup and score, let's go for a starting 11. I'll go for Bernd Leno, Kenny Tete, Anthony Robinson. I'll go for Tim Ream and Issa Diop. The central midfield 3 will be João Palhinha, Pereira, and Harrison Reed. On the left, I'm going to go with Willian. On the right, I'll go with Bobby Decordova-Reid. And up front, Alexander Mitrovic. Finally, I'm going to give you my prediction for this match. I have a lot of respect for Tottenham, so this is not disrespect to Tottenham. This is more to do with how Fulham are playing. I think this is Fulham's best chance to beat Tottenham in a very long time. So I'm going 2-1 to Fulham, and we'll see what happens. But I want to thank you very much for watching this video.